I'm waiting for it to load. Come on. Alright, I'll just try it. It's not. Y'all are times when it doesn't load properly, the sound doesn't come through. So let me see if I can hear y'all, or you can hear me. Let's see if I can pull this up. Let's see if I can pull this up. Okay, I can hear it. All right, so seems to be working. Sorry, Facebook confuses me sometimes. Anyway, we are going to be painting our little Salvaged Santa today. So we're going to be painting him. Hey, Bonnie. And then if we finish him, we'll do something else, but that might be all we do today. Got a lot going on. Thank you for letting me know sounds good, Bonnie. I appreciate that. All right, so got a few people on here. Sound is okay. I'm just going to go ahead and pull the camera up top so we can get started. All right, 1 second. Let's see if I can put something there to focus on. All right, that seems okay. Okay, so we're going to paint this little guy. This is a Tim Holtz idea-ology Salvaged Santa. It is some sort of a resin casting, and I have primed it with, first I primed it with that gray spray primer that I used on the other figures, and then I went over it with some white. And it, 1 or 2 coats of the Folk Art multi-surface satin titanium white. So it's got a good base coat on it, and then the white will just be what it is, and then I'll do the other areas, the colors, and then touch up the white, kind of similar to what I did with the snowman. But he's very detailed. We're going to try to zoom as much as I can and, you know, work with it. Let's see if we can get it to work. Honestly, I need, you know what, and I have one somewhere. I have a stand, a magnifying stand for a magnifying glass. It's got the little clips on it, you know, for holding things. I should have tried to find that thing because it would have made my life a little bit easier. But I don't think I need to put anything down. The last time I just threw a piece of cardboard down, but I thought it might help show him better. Let me see if I can see the camera. I'll put it down, I guess. It's not very pretty, but let's see. So this is about where I need to be. If I put it down and I put him in the middle, maybe if I stay within that, let's see how far over is that, about there. Okay. So maybe I can stay on camera. That would be awesome. You know how that goes. Let's see, I just want some blue tape, I think. I'm just putting a little bit of blue tape so I know about where that ends, approximately. You can't see what I'm doing, but that's okay. And then it should be, it's the whole thing over here, right? So right about there. All right. All right, so let's see. I'm trying to wait for my camera so I can see how close that is. And I'll pull it up every now and then so you can see better. It's not terrible. Let me see if I can get a little bit closer without it going out of focus on me. All right, maybe I'll try there. I'll try to stay in camera. All right, so colors, let's see. We know we're going to need a red. This is engine red. That's probably a good red. We'll need the black, so just the regular pure black. And I'm not going to zoom back out, but I'll just kind of show them to you up close here. So the black and the red, and then let's see. Whatever I do his mittens, I think, does he have mittens? Yeah, it looks like he has mittens. So the mittens could be red. They could be just green or something. His boots will be black. His coat, of course, will be red. The bag, I might do the bag brown. Make it more like kind of like a burlap. Sometimes it's red in pictures, sometimes it's not. But if I do it red, it's just going to blend right into his coat, and we don't really want that. So I think I'll do a brown. I might try, I don't know if that's too dark. This is teddy bear brown. Let's see, what else do I have? I have this coffee latte. I might try maybe a combination of these, the coffee latte and the teddy bear brown. So we'll see. All right, so we need paintbrushes. I've got a few here. I've got some fine liners. I only need one of these. Let's see, I was using my older one. And a flat brush. So a couple different size fine liners and flat brush is what I'm going to use here. This one's just one of the Essential Stencil ones I use. This purple one is a Royal Langnickel 10/0 liner, and this happens to be a Mimic Kolinsky. This is actually one of my watercolor brushes, but I haven't watercolored in forever. It's a flat number 4. All right, paper plate for some color. I don't know if I'll be able to get it on screen, but it's not a huge deal. And white in case we need it. I've got the titanium white. And like I said, might do his mittens this classic green, which was what we used on this snowman. And kind of see where we go with it. All right, so we'll start off. I think I'll start with the bag. No, we'll start, because the bag is on the outside or the inside. It would be on the outside. Let's do the red coat first. I think that might be the best thing to do. We'll do the red coat. So, like I said, I'm going to use this Folk Art Engine Red. I think it's a good red. It's nice and dark. I think it's a Christmassy red. You could also use possibly cardinal red or lipstick red. Let's see. I'm trying to see if I have them handy. No, lipstick red's a little orangey. I don't think that might be. It might be too orangey. I don't know, but there are probably other reds that you could use. Even this, what is this one? Apple red. That's not too bad either. It's not as dark as this, but it's a nice red. So you have that one. It's a little brighter, and I might use it for like a highlight or something. So we'll keep it handy, because that might do well. All right, so we got our paint. I think I'm gonna start off with this flat. I've got containers of water. I've got like 3 different containers of water for washing. And paper towels handy for, you know, wiping off my brush and things like that. You don't want to rinse your brush and then have it wet, so it doesn't hurt to keep a couple of wipes in case you make a mess. All right, so we are going to wet this brush first and dry it off. Can you even see that? No. So I'm just drying it off so there's no water droplets that are gonna roll down it. And then we're just going to dip into this very lightly, just at the end. I'm trying not to go all the way into the ferrule. So I don't want a lot of paint on here. I can always do more than one coat. So The jacket seems to be pretty much everywhere. He's got the beard, and then there's a belt that's black. This will be white. The area around the mittens will be white. It's not real defined. I think I'm going to paint it white. It's usually got a little white cuff there, so I think I'm going to try to leave a little bit for white. So I'm just going to start putting it on here. I hope I'm in the right area. Like I said, I think it'll take 2 coats. This isn't super translucent, but it's not super opaque either. His hair will be white. So try not to get too much red in the hair. And I'm just using the brush to push against the area and then pull away. I'm going to do the same thing. Let me see if you can see this. It's not caught up with me. Okay, I think you can see that. Try not to get his beard. I might have to come back in with the liner there. So I think I'm going to leave that little white area. If it looks weird, I'll change it. But I think that's going to be a good idea. So we'll go down here. Ooh, this is close. See if I can get it in there. Try not to get it on that white area. I think there's a belt right there. Let's see if I can do. Sorry, I'm a little shaky today, which isn't the best time to be doing detail painting, but we're gonna go with it. Not like I have a choice. I think I'll use the liner to get into that. I just painted my hand. To get into that little groove there. This brush is just a fraction large. And after I do the whole jacket, I'll pull it up closer to the camera and give you a good look at it. Just going around the bag. There's a little spot there, but I can't get this brush in there, so we'll skip it. Let me wipe this paint off my hand. Doesn't look like I'm bleeding or something. There. All right. Hey, Angela. I think this is going to take 2 coats. It looks so opaque when it's down in its little puddle, but then you get it out and it's like, oh, that's not as opaque as I thought. Not to touch things I've already painted, that would be bad. So hopefully everybody's all getting ready for Thanksgiving. I went and got my groceries today. I bought a turkey a while back, but I went and got the rest of it today, I think. Hopefully I didn't miss nothing. Groceries are so expensive, guys. I was just like, oh my goodness, all this for one meal. Right, that's his arm, so that's okay. Try to avoid this belt. I know why some people just go out until they got too much red right there. Let's see if I can get it to wipe off. Where's that cotton swab I had? Spray water. I'm just spraying this little cotton swab off camera. I'll try to wipe that off his beard so it doesn't, it's not so difficult to cover up. There, I got it. All right. Where'd my brush go? There it is. But I was saying, I understand why people decide to just go out, because, oh my goodness, it costs you just as much almost. I think more so when you're trying to feed a small family. Okay, where's the rest of that arm? Let's try to get this arm without getting that little, what I think is the sleeve area. I'm trying to use this stick for balancing. That's his sack. You can't go back over areas until you know they're dry, because it'll just pull the paint away. But once they're dry, then you can go back over it. All right, what am I missing here? Let's see. His pants will be, I'll show you the coat first. Let me do that little, let me rinse. I'm gonna rinse this because I don't want the paint to sit in it. Onto my paper towel. Alright, so let's show you what we've got so far. Okay, so we just went around the bag there. I'm going to go in with the fine detail brush to get those little corners and stuff. Anywhere I didn't get real close, like right there. These little corners, up where the hairline is there. Maybe around here some. Little grooves. I should have went in there with some black, but I am going to do a wash later that might just fill it in fine. I'll have to decide if I want to try to throw something dark in there. It could be either be a really dark red or like a black color. Alright, I think I'll use this liner brush. So I'm just going to wet it a little and dry it off. Try to get all these little spots that I didn't get all the way in. So there's one. There's a little area under this beard. Oops, sorry, I'm a little off camera. Oops, I got it on the beard again. It's such a small area. I'll clean it up in a second. I can't wait too long, because the longer it dries, the harder it is to get it off. There. Okay. There we go. Let's see, we got this little side over here. The belt will be black, so it'll be easy enough to cover the red, so I don't have to worry as much about that. And then I'll wait till I do this. All right, so let me see. The sleeve is right here. I think I'm going to keep this white. It'll show up more once the mitten's colored. And I might try to do a little red between here. It's going to be a tiny, tiny line. cover up most of it, but I'm just trying to show that there's a space in there. All right, what about the sleeve right to here? So this side you can kind of see a little wrinkle there. I'm not pulling a lot, I'm mostly dotting because I'm working such a small area. When Ellen did hers, she was using the larger figures, so these are really a little harder. So his face is going to be some sort of a flesh tone. I'll do that later. Let's see, where did I misread? Oh, there's a spot. Don't dip it in the paint. Right here by the coat. Oops, my brush is too dry. Okay. And then around the bag we had a spot. It seems weird to be painting, guys. I haven't been painting in so long. Even if it is just miniature painting, still painting. I think I got the bag pretty good. Oh, there's a spot right there. So right up here. Got it. And sometimes it's a good idea just to kind of step back. Now the hat should be red, obviously. So there is a cotton, puff thing on the end, whatever it's called. So we don't want to do that. I think I can see the line. Let's try to get the hat. So that area is white. I probably could have used the flat brush for this, but that's all right, I'll just use this. All right, yeah, this side is harder to see. All right, what's it doing there? Okay, I think I see it. I meant to grab my stronger glasses, guys. Here, I'm just gonna switch to this flat brush real quick. See if I can kind of tap it up against that edge. It's just easier to get a straight line when you have a flat like this and you just push it up against it. It's sometimes easier. All right. Ooh, that's hard to see. I think I see it. Got it. And then the same thing in front. Try to show you what I think I just painted my microphone. So I need to get that line right there, and I think it goes over where the cotton ball is, but the line is kind of weird there. So I mean, logically it wouldn't be under, so we got to make it go over somehow. All right, let's see if we can figure this out. Should be like that, maybe. Hopefully y'all can see okay. I know it's not ideal, but if you can just see some, that would make me happy. All right, so I think I might run up just a little too far there. I can't tell. I'll switch brushes again because that's not working for me. into the red. See where it ends there. I might have went a little too far. I might clean that up just a bit. I feel like I went just a fraction too far. Am I far enough over here? Yeah, I think I am. Okay, let's rinse that. Wipe it off on the paper towel. Grab my little Q-tip, which I'm going to have to wash in water because it's very red right now. Okay, where'd it go? So I just went into the little ball a little too much. I'm just going to try to wipe some of it off so I don't have to put 3 coats of white. It's hard to do. Let's switch sides. Maybe it'll be okay. I'll just cover it with white. Okay, so that's pretty good. Trying to determine if I'm close enough to his hair there. I think I am. But I could do it just a fraction better. Yeah, that's a little bit better. All right, any place that's kind of thin. I'm just going to use this detail brush. Kind of fill in any really thin areas. Like I said, I'm going to antique it a little bit, age it, I guess you could call it, with a wash later, so it's not a huge deal, but I do want a good coat on here. Is there a spot there? Nope, that's all bag. Okay. All right, so the pants. I wonder if I can fit that in there. I'm going to try to switch back to the flat one. Try to get inside that area without getting the white, hopefully. Okay. And I just, wipe my brush well, so I don't have any globs of paint. Globs of paint will get you. Oh, this area is going to be interesting. His little tush. See if we can get in there. It just seems wrong, guys. Don't laugh. What can I hold? Trying to hold things. I can't hold the stick because it doesn't work. I know there's a shadow. I'll have to just bring it up and show you because I can't take the stick off, so I can't use my other hand either. Some of this is boots. I don't want to try not to get the boots, although the black will cover the red, so not a big deal. Touch something. Is that hat dry? Yeah. I'll have to try to shade that white area. Am I on camera? No. I have to try to shade that white area where the coat overlaps to try to show that there's a line there. I might put a little bit of maybe a gray or something. Although the wash might do it later. Okay, where are those boots exactly? I'm trying to see if there's one more wrinkle. or if that's boot. I think that's supposed to be boot. All right. Leave the last wrinkle to be boot. And it'll be black, so it should cover this fine. If I get the red in there, which I probably will. I'm not going to stress at this point. All right, I guess switch, I think. Let's switch real quick. Hey, Nancy. All right, back to my liner brush. Oh, a lot of this is underneath. The chance of somebody picking this figurine up is slim to none because it's going to be glued in place. So it's not like they're going to be looking under here anyway, but I'm going to paint it nonetheless. Because you never know, at some point I might take this thing apart and reuse these. Who knows? I never know. Got a little spot right there. All right, let's see. That's good. Right here. Is that boot? I don't think that's boot. Some of this is boot, but we'll cover it with the black. It's just really hard to tell. Which is which? Okay, I think that's good. I'm just looking at it from different angles. All right, I think I got all the red. So let's do the black, I think. Yeah, let's do the black. I'll show you the pants real quick. Up close. For those who can't see, if you're on your phone, I know it can be challenging to see these tiny little things. So there's the pants, and there's like a, let's see if I can hold it still enough. There's a line there. I think that's a boot, so I left it. Front. I don't see any kind of a buckle or anything, so we'll just assume they're solid. Okay. I don't think I missed. Is there a spot there I missed? I'm actually using the camera. There might be a little spot right there, just below his hand. I feel like there is. I'm just going to throw a little drop in there. There. Okay. Switch to black. So wash those off. And grab, I'm just going to grab a different plate because I don't really want to try to avoid that red. Just a tiny bit of black. Probably won't use that much. And let's see. So we want the belt for sure. And his boots. I think that's all. Maybe. All right, let's see. Should I use the flat? I'll try to use the flat. I'm trying to figure out where to put my paint. I'm just going to stick it up there. All right, so put our flat edge up against this. I'm getting some on the stick, but that's okay. I might have to switch back. switch back to the liner for that top part. Glue is going to block the paint, but I'm going to be putting him in snow, so I'm not going to worry about it. If I wasn't putting him in snow, then I would have to go ahead and paint this and come back after I pop them off of this stick, because there is some hot glue that oozed up around these boots, so they're not going to get completely covered. Close enough, I think, but not perfectly. I'm trying to see if I'm on camera. Feel free to yell at me if you see me miss a spot, because you know I will. Alright, so right here there's a little belt area. I don't know if I can get it with this brush, but I can get some of it with this brush. So there's a little part of the belt that comes around. Yeah, I can't quite get it with that one, so I'll rinse that out. Little fine liner, and let's see if I can get this belt. Try not to get the bag or his coat. Should be enough to hint at it. Where was I missing on the boots? Somewhere through here. My popsicle stick's in the way. Got it. And this side. Can't quite get the angle. Like the popsicle stick is handy, but in some ways it gets in the way. Alright, let's do this front spot that I said I missed. Where is it at? I can't see it now. No, I'm wiggling. It's so hard not to wiggle. Oh gosh, I need more light. Alright, we're just gonna go for it. I can't see what I'm doing, but the light's glaring. I think I got it. Okay. The belt. I'll show you the boots real quick before I forget. Ooh, lights. They're just, okay, focus. They're just pretty solid right now. And I might put a little, light gray here and there to kind of give it a little bit of shading. I'm trying not to get too detailed on these, but I do like, me. I like the detail. I just, I don't know how much y'all want to watch me do detail. Okay, so the belt, the only thing it won't be black is this buckle. So I'm just going to do it black for now because there's no way I'm missing it. And then hopefully I can find where it is, because once I put this black on it, it's going to be really hard to see. So I might have to just wing it. Okay, I think I got it. Let's get this side. This isn't taking wasn't too bad. I was worried it was going to take me a long time. It's a nice thing about using the white as a base coat. It really does help. You know, these mittens are getting a little bit of this on them, but I can't really help that because it's too close. I don't think, there might be white go through there, but I really don't. I think the belt would cover it. We're going to assume the belt would cover it. I feel like I got a little bit of black in my red there, but probably not a huge deal. It'll just look like shadows, I think. Alright, gotta get all of that belt. A little bit right there. Okay. The eyes will have a little bit of black. I'm not sure how I'm going to do the eyes yet. I haven't really decided. I'm going to mix a tiny bit of gray real quick. So let me just throw some white on this plate. If I can get the white to come out there. I'll wash my brush out. Drying off the water beads. So what I want to do is just do a tiny bit of highlight. So I'm going to take white, make a little puddle, and then I'm going to try to find a small spot of black. Teeny, teeny, teeny. Make me a little bit of gray. And that's even too dark. I want to go lighter than that, so. Just a very, very light gray. I'm going to wash that because I don't want all that paint on it. Reload it. Alright, what I'm going to do is just put this right here where these come together. And it's subtle. It's just going to be enough to show a difference, and I will show that to you up close in a second. Where else can I put this color? I could do a little bit inside the mitten area, maybe area. I'm just going to make a darker gray. I don't want it super dark. And I'm going to make it pretty thin. So, decent amount of water in my brush, other than the ferrule. I did rinse that. I'm going to try to get inside this mitten area. Just a tiny bit in there. Okay. A little bit more water. Trying to keep it thin. And I'll be covering that back up with some white and some green. But I'll show you what it helps do in a second. Let me just see if I can get some more white on this. A little more than I wanted. Here's what that does. It's just adding depth to that area. I haven't put the colors there yet, but it's fine. I could even do it under the hat, but I think we'll leave that. His hair would be white and gray. So we're going to take a little bit of that gray color. A very, very light gray. Probably should not be using this brush to mix with, but yeah. Always do that. All right, so we're just going to paint some of this gray first. It's a very light gray. I want it to go in those grooves. There's some grooves and I'll show them to you in a second. I could even do this on the hat too. So some texture there. Anywhere there's a texture that I can make this help for the grooves. All right, let's turn it over to the front. We're going to come back over this with some white. Alright, so I got to see if I have a flesh tone for his. Here, I'm going to put a little bit of white where I get this red. Let that start covering that up. Minute to dry. I want to do a dark gray for those boots. So I'm just mixing up a darker gray, and all I'm going to do is give them a little bit of a highlight. That's not, maybe just a little tiny bit darker. I'm just going to try to give them a little bit of a highlight. Just kind of here and there on the edges. If I had a way to touch that. Let's see, maybe I can do it with my Q-tip. So I'm just going to blend it. I'll show you it up close. The idea, I don't want the boots to be just solid like that. I think it's going to be a little too much. Okay. All right, let's see if we can show you. Focus, focus, focus. Is it focusing? So, can you see just a little bit of a gray? I'm not sure if you can see it on camera, but there's some gray that's going to help them not to look so, you know, just plain. All right, let's see if we can find a skin tone. Just washing that brush good, dry it off. Alright, so let me set him down, and let's see, skin tones, what do I have? I feel like I have a bisque. What is this? This is a cool bisque. It's not bad, it could be a little pinker maybe. Maybe, what else do I have? I might just add some white and slightest touch of red to that. Or pink, just maybe just pink. What else do you have? I've got this fire coral. I might add a little touch of this to it. So I'm going to try to mix me a skin tone. You could just use a really light pink, but you know, I'm trying to be a little better than that. So we'll start with the cool bisque, I think. A little bit of that. It's way more than I need. I have a plate with some red, but that's too dark. But we'll use this. Oh, this has got a booger on it. Let me get it off of there. Little paint burgers. Right. A little bit of this fire opal. Not much. Just a drop. And then I think just white. We've got some white on the plate. See what we can do with this. So we'll take some of this bisque, some of this white, a tiny drop of that pink, that's probably pretty good for a skin tone. We'll go with that. Santa's pale. He doesn't get any sun. All right, let's see if we can do this. So I'm going to paint the whole thing, and then I'll have to come back in and do his eyes. I'll re-add some white back to his eyes. Nose. It's just a tiny little spot. I'll show it up close if I can balance this, guys. I'll show it up close in a minute. Oh, what is that? The light is hitting it so strangely. He's got his little mustache in there too. I might do just a little extra pinkish tone on his cheeks for his rosy cheeks. And the white wash will help show the definition. And maybe the lips, I'll do just a little extra pink in the mix. So I'm just going to add some of that to my brush. And try to touch his mouth there. Just a tiny bit. And the cheek area. Just a little. Give him rosy cheeks. Alright, I think that's pretty good. Let me show you up close. Hold still. Okay. Now we're going to put the white back in the eyes. Okay, so just a drop of white. It won't take much. And then I'm going to try to do a pupil. Yeah. It's so little, guys. I don't know. Just going to get the white in there for now. Could almost just leave them totally white, but I think I'm going to try to do a pupil. Just a little bit of white there. I'll show you that up close. Okay. And let's see. I might try to add just a little on that mustache area that I might have hit. So it backs back in there. The mouth, I just want the mouth to seat back where it was supposed to. Alright, I think I got it. Put on this beard. Yeah. Alright, so, this black, oh my gosh. I'm afraid. If I mess it up, I'll just paint it black and do it again. Right? Right. So tiny, tiny, tiny bit of black on my brush. It's got to be wet enough that it actually will come off of the brush. But it can't be very much. So I'm just going to roll it as best I can. And I'm going to try and touch the center of the eye. Just a little tiny bit. And hopefully he won't look like he has weird beady eyes. Because that's what'll probably happen. Ooh, that's actually not too bad. What do you think? Doable? Looks like he's looking off to the left there a little bit. It's okay. We're going to leave it. I'm not going to chance it because I'll mess it up. Alright. So let's put some white on that Santa hat where we added the gray. I still got to do the bag. I haven't forgotten. So I'm going to try to make this not go into the grooves. So I'm just lightly brushing over the top. Let's see if I can show you it up close. You kind of see it? The idea is to make, you know, the texture there show. So I'm just brushing the white over it without getting it into the grooves as much as I can. By kind of using the side of my brush. It's not the end of the world or nothing, but that's the idea. Hi, Deborah. To the other side. We'll do the same thing with the hair. Just give it a little light brush. That's hair, right? I think that's hair. I think it's hair. That's okay, hon. I'm glad you made it. You're almost done painting him, though. You're going to have to catch the replay. Still got to do the bag. Just tiny bit through here. Try not to cover all the gray up. And we'll do a little lighter white on the beard. And we still got to do the mittens too. Do y'all think I should do holding my breath. Do you think I should do green or red for the mittens? There's going to be white in between there, so it wouldn't be a big deal, but it might look cute to have green. I really don't know. I've seen both. Just got a little too much black there. I'm going to cover it up. I'm going to do this cuff a little bit better. If I can figure out how to hold it. Got it. Okay. Another one. That's good. Any answers? Nope, no answers. All right, I'm going to go into the bag, and y'all think about that. Mittens green, mittens red. We'll go do the bag for now. So let's see. Should I do another plate? Let's try to squeeze it on here. We'll start with this baby bear brown, and then I'll probably put a highlight. So baby bear brown. Let's use the fatter brush. It's got a lot of texture to it, and I think if I can somehow paint that lighter brown on top of this, it'll show it. Because these are supposed to kind of emulate like a wood carving. That's what the salvaged figures are. That should be red, I think. We'll touch it up with some red in a second. This is fairly translucent on here. I thought it would be a little bit darker. It's not as dark as I thought it was going to be. Bag. Okay, it goes this way. It's kind of over his shoulder there. switch brushes. Sorry, I'm not talking. When I'm concentrating on something like this, I tend to hold my breath. I haven't figured out how not to do that. Alright, let's see. Looks like that goes there. Kind of like that. It might be messed up a little there, but I'll fix it. Alright, let's see if we can make this just a fraction darker. I might have enough. I'm going to make it fairly light because I think it's supposed to be like a, I was thinking like burlap. Which is real close to this shade, so. Should be okay. Alright, let's see. What was it I messed up? I saw a spot. That spot right there. A little bit of white right there. Got it. All right. Okay. Let's show you this up close. So we got our bag coming out of his hand. Is it close enough? Let me see if I can see it. I think it's right. Yeah. And then around like that. I think we got it all. Okay. And then we want the mittens. Anybody see anything? Up to me? Green or red? What does the other Santa got? I think he had red. The one that's in the house. Let me see. I feel like he's red. Oh, he's got tan? Tan or yellow? Oh, he's got like tan or yellow. I don't think I like the tan or yellow. I think I'm going to do green. So we'll just do green. Should I try to add a hint of shoelaces? Maybe? His boots are brown too instead of black. It's because he's more vintage. That's fine. Alright, so I think I will do green. So let's grab the classic green I was using on the snowman. So we can find a clean spot. Just a little. And just put that on there. Let's see, am I kind of in camera here? Oh, there's a little dip in there where his thumb is. Once I do a wash, I think it'll show up. Right now it's going to blend in a lot. I think the green will work. Okay. Get the other one. Try not to touch the bag while it's drying. So I'm going to put a lighter color on it too. Try not to get his hair in there. I'll just pull it up, okay, because I gotta hold it down so I can focus. It's teeny, teeny, tiny. Okay. Good. I think we're good. All right. There's our little mittens. May try to throw a wash of dark green in there just to kind of hint at that difference where the thumb is. We'll see if I can do it. And just add a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of black to the green. So a little puddle of green, tiny drop of black. Just enough to darken it. You have to go slow because it'll darken real fast. That's about right. Just nice dark green. Let's see if I can get it in the thumb area. If I can see the thumb area. Oh, it needs to be a little bit darker. I think I got it. I don't think there's a thumb on the other one. I don't think so. All right, so there. Let's see if I can get the light to hit it. It's just enough to kind of show. So, bag. Let's go back to the bag. Wash my brush out. I'm going to use the flat one, and we're going to take that brown. I need more. I used it all. Actually, we'll just use the coffee latte. Get the paint bugger off first. All right, coffee latte. Come on. Come on. Sorry about that bouncing. All right, tiny bit of coffee latte. Actually, it might not be light enough. We'll go with a little bit of white in it. Just want a very light brown. Well, not too light, but light enough for highlighting. About there, I think. Let's see if we can make this bag look better. So just a tiny bit of highlights on here. Trying only to get the raised areas. So there are raised areas. That's not too bad. Give it a little more texture now. Okay. I think I'm okay with that. So it just gives it a little more, color variation in there. Okay, miss anything? He's actually pretty good. I think I'm happy with him. And like I said, we'll do like a wash on them later. I don't know if I want to do any more to the boots or not. I might just leave them. They're going to probably end up covered up with snow anyway. So I'm sure I'm overthinking it. Alright, so let me show you that up close. Just washing my brush out. Make sure my hands are clean. Alright, so we have Santa, his little cute little face. Can you see it? His eyes are a tiny bit beady, but they're not too bad. Black spot on that. I saw a black spot. Oh, sorry. I can't tell. I think it's a black spot. I'm going to fix that right there. Excuse my fingers. I know they look awful. There might be a white spot on that coat too. think he's good. The wash will help bring out details. But anywhere I accidentally got paint, I'm going to try to fix. Why could I only see that on the camera? I cannot see it when I'm out like this. I feel like there was a black... Maybe it's just the lighting. You know, it might be the lighting. No, I think it's there. I think there's a spot. I'm going to try to touch it. I can't tell for sure if it's lighting or the actual figure. It might be lighting. Alright, let's try to touch that spot that I think needs red. Where did my red go? There it is. Tiny, tiny, tiny drop. I think we splashed a little white right here. I think he is good. All right, I'm going to call him done. Wash my brushes. Pull my paint things out of the way. Let's see what else we can do today. It's 10:15. I could do a little more. I can show you what we have so far. Well, I have these little pine cones I can show you. So, I don't know what I'm going to do with them exactly, but I'll show you the pine cones. I'll show you... I already painted all the trees, which I said I would do off camera, so I'm going to zoom back out, guys. Zoom. Come on. There you go. So, sit on the side. So I did a bunch of trees, and I added the little trunks on them. They're not glued on yet, but I just pushed them on. I'll show you. So these are the ones. Some of them will go outside. Some actually end up inside. I painted a little bit of snow on some logs that I might throw around. So I just threw a little bit of snow on there. What else? So far we have our little deer. Okay, for anyone who wasn't watching, we have our snowman. We have this deer, the sitting deer. And then we have the ones that we just bought. Well, I just bought from Dollar Tree, these little kid figures, which we'll throw them somewhere. I think they'll be cute. I'll keep the base, but I'll put my texture snow over it so it looks, so it blends in. So those, and then, like I said, I did a couple of logs that I'm going to place here and there maybe. And then I did a bunch of trees. So they've all got their snow. So these are just those stumps I had drilled, and it's just stuck on there right now. Like I said, I'll probably put a drop of glue to hold it. Excuse me if you can hear me burping. Alright, I'm trying to see what all I have that I haven't done yet. Alright, so I have these pine cones I found. I was just going to show you what I did with them. So they come on this little, I don't know, wire. They're from Hobby Lobby in the mini tree section called Mini Cone and Berry Picks. I'm pretty sure they were in the mini tree section. They might have actually been on an end cap. Maybe. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember. This is all the wires I've already pulled off. So what I did is I separated them out because I'm going to try to use some of these pine cones. Now I know that they're way big, but I'm just going to bury them in the snow here and there to give a little bit of pine cone hint. I tried to make some a little smaller, but they pretty much just kind of fall apart on you, so we'll see how that goes. But if you want to play with these, they have this floral tape, You just have to kind of wind it backwards until the floral tape starts separating. Okay, and it'll just start doing that. It starts separating. And once you get it to where you can find the end of it, it'll just kind of fall off of there. Okay, so just wind it off of there. And then you've got this piece, and there's a wire that's wrapping all of those pine cones. You just got to figure out which one it is. I think it's this one. So unwrap it. And that is unwrapping this piece. You can see now it's starting to fall apart. And there might be one more on there. Where is it at? I think. Am I going the wrong way? Can't ever tell. I think it's this way. There. So you just kind of work at it until you figure out which wires are holding it together. I'm missing one. I can't tell where it goes. I think it's this one. Yep. Right. So once you get all the wires that are holding it together, they will just kind of fall apart. Okay. Then each little pine cone is wrapped. So you have to take that wire and untwist it very gently because it's they're fragile little guys. But once you find it, you just kind of open it up and they just fall off. And you get little individual pine cones. Okay, you get some berries too. We might throw a few of these in a tree. I mean, these would be cute and like sticking out of the tree that I put inside the house, maybe like, let's see if I can figure out how to feed it in there. You know, I might have to cut them, but I should be able to feed a few in there to give it some interesting look. Maybe even like a couple of the ones that are in front of the house, I'm thinking. So I think I'll get some use out of those too. So I've got all these little pieces. I'm keeping everything because I can actually make little trees out of these wires. At some point I might, but not for this project. But you take these wires and you put them on basically a bamboo skewer, and you move the little wires around, and then you put flock on it, and you can make little miniature trees. You know, we're getting into detailed miniatures, but that's why I'm keeping it. I don't know if I'm going to keep these or not. It'd be cheaper and easier just to buy another thing of floral tape. I think Dollar Tree even sells it. But I did want some pine cones to throw around. I definitely don't need this many, but you know, I wanted to show you kind of how I got them off of there in case it was a little confusing to you. Just in case. So I'm just going to throw these back over here for now. Okay. So that's how I did that. And let's see, what else? We still have to decorate the windows for the house. Like I said, I've got some stuff to do tonight. Hubby's got a job later because he works a lot of nights. So, but I'm going to talk to you real quick about something I'm going to be doing. So I'm thinking, sorry, I'm just trying to find the piece. I think this is it. All right, so these are our windows that are going in the front of the living room and everything. That will be like this. And I'm thinking I might do this, lattice work, whatever it is. Up here, I've got more pieces of this. Up here, and then do maybe just this middle one in stained glass. And I'll just use a Sharpie or Sharpies to do some stained glass on there. I think that would be pretty. I don't think I want to do all of them, or even all of the ones across. I'm thinking just the middle one. Maybe in like red, green, yellow, something like that. I think that might be pretty. And I got the inspiration for that. I got from watching Shira with Queen City Minis. She was doing her Witch's Dollhouse miniature. If you haven't watched that, oh my gosh, you gotta watch it because it's awesome. And she did some stained glass by painting with a Sharpie on acetate. And I was like, wow, you know what? I've got acetate and I've already got the shade. Good idea. So that's what I think I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna use this snow in here, but maybe not that window, or maybe I will, because technically it's supposed to be kind of on the outside, but it looks like it's on the inside, and I'm going to put the snow on it, so I might use both. I haven't really decided, because it gives it glass too, so I think I'll use it. But that's kind of, quit yawning. That's kind of where we're at for right now. I'm going to end today with just doing that figure, I think. But I just wanted to kind of touch base a little bit. So we've got all of our figures ready. You know, they need like a wash to make them just a little more aged. I did a wash on this deer, but I don't know if the lighting's going to let you see it. And I didn't do one on this one, so I don't know if you can see it. But it does age it down a little bit and just tone it down, so it doesn't look, you know, just painted. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. But I'll do a wash on him, and I'll do a wash on Santa after we pop it. And these just pop off. I can go ahead and pop them off now. He's dry. So it's a little tricky to pop them off sometimes, so you got to kind of play with it. It's going to probably freak you out. Don't let it. But they will pop off of there. And you get the figure, and sometimes you have to kind of clean off the hot glue on the feet. So you're probably not going to want to stand up with it on there. And I just used my flat edge and tried to clean it off. If you can't do it with your flat edge, you can just use sandpaper. But usually there's a little bit of hot glue, you know, that wants to stick on there. But it just kind of peels off. Get it to peel off. And then if it affects the paint too much and you think it's not going to be covered by snow, you can touch it up at this point. But let's see if I can get him to stand. Not quite. He's still got hot glue on there. I can feel it. I'll play with some sandpaper on it probably. Oh God. All right. So we got all these little things. So we're getting there, right? We got trees, we got figures, and we're almost getting to the point of putting it together, but not quite. Still got a little bit of things to do. You love the stained glass? Yeah, so we're going to try that. So I think it'll be good. We'll do that probably next time, maybe. I think. So thanks for watching tonight, and y'all join me again on, we got Thanksgiving coming up. Am I going to do Wednesday? I think I'm going to do Wednesday. So join me on Wednesday. We'll do probably the stained glass, maybe some other stuff. Maybe I'll paint that floor that goes where the, you know what I'm talking about, the green floor. Let me see if I can find it. There it is. I think it goes in this house. Is it this house or the other house? Honestly, I don't remember. It goes on one of these, but it needs painted. This rug carpet needs blended into this piece of cardstock so that we can fit it in whichever one it goes in. I don't remember if it's this one or the other one. So we got to do that still. So I'll probably do that and maybe the stained glass the same day. That would probably give me a decent amount to do. That's what I'm thinking. So, all right. That is it for today, guys. I will see you guys on Wednesday. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your evening. If y'all don't catch me Wednesday, y'all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Okay, so take care. I'll talk to y'all next time. Bye-bye. I'm just going to pull Santa out by himself. Of course, now he's not on a stand, although it's probably easier with him not on the stand. I'm going to pull him out so I can take a last screenshot. So let me pull all this away. And let's see how I can do this. You know what, I'm just going to hold him for a second and then finish. Bye.